بالقرآن برحمه تحلو الحياة شوقا إلى المولى أتاي أسلمت روحي للإله.
استمر أثر هذا الموقف في قلبها، لكنها لم تقبل على الإسلام إلى الآن. وفي يوم من أيام رمضان دخلت مسجدا في لندن مع صديقتها للاطلاع على أجواء المسلمين في رمضان، وكان هذا في عام 2010.
Then I went into the masjid, and you know, in Ramadan it's not quiet. I sat down to watch. But when I sat down, I felt like I was under a waterfall of peace. And I was scared because I knew that this peace meant that Islam was the truth. And then 1 week later in London, I went into another masjid and I took shahada.
ونطقت بالشهادة في مسجد كبير بلندن، وقابلت هناك الإمام والمؤذن.
And they sat me down and spoke to me and explained about Al-Fatiha, that this is the key, the opening to your prayer. This is what it means. And all the time they were speaking, it was as if the room was heavy, you know, yeah? A feeling in the room of maybe peace. And you say the words and they're very, whoa, they're very big words to say. I testify that there is no God but God. You expect there to be a thunderclap, you know, really they're very heavy words. Just recognizing the enormity of knowing why you're born, why you exist, what you should be doing every day.
أجمل ما في قصة سارة لما أخبرت ابنتيها بأنها دخلت الإسلام.
And at the time they were 10 years old and 8 years old. And I said to them, your mum is thinking of becoming a Muslim, what do you think? And they said, we have 3 questions. And the first question was, when you are a Muslim, will you still be our mummy? And I said, yeah, I think I'll be a better mother. The second question was, when you are a Muslim, will you still drink alcohol? I said, I'll never drink alcohol again. They said, if you are a Muslim, will you still wear revealing clothing? I said, why did you ask me this? And my daughter Holly said, because you always show your neck and chest area and we hate it, we want you to stop. I said, look, if I'm Muslim, I will always be modest when I leave the house. And they said, we love Islam, that's it. And alhamdulillah, my daughters became Muslim and began praying with me straight away. Subhanallah.
تحلو الحياة شوقا إلى المولى أتاي أسلمت روحي للإله.
بعد الإسلام رجعت وفتحت المصحف بمرات وكرات كثيرة وعديدة. ماذا وجدت المصحف بعد الإسلام؟
It was a completely different book.
Allah.
It was a different book, but the voice of strength was the same. I could see them, hear the might of God in there. I could hear the sternness and the risk of retribution, but now came the beauty. Now came the chance of Jannah. I just had to change. Allahu Akbar.
أنت ما شاء الله من عائلة رئيس الوزراء البريطاني السابق توني بلير كان متزوج أختك، وهذا له مكانة اجتماعية كبيرة على أختك وعلى العائلة. هل كان له أثر عليك سلباً أم إيجابياً عند دخولك الإسلام؟
Unfortunately, my brother-in-law, Tony Blair, has been involved with some of the most heinous criminal acts against human beings of the last century. We think of Iraq and Afghanistan. These are crimes against humanity, and the people who profit from them, whose businesses make money now out of Iraq, are in my family. How was I supposed to react? How was I supposed to react? I'd already shunned Tony Blair. I said, khalas, no, this is no good. On a political and human grounds, this is no good. But then I said my shahada, and everybody said, you know, Allah tells us don't break relations, be kind. And when I read the ayah that said very clearly, no, if your family go beyond justice, that's the line. And if you are being unjust, you have to look at yourself as well. And I felt relief, and I thought, right, I do not have to accept injustice while it's being done for whoever does it, however powerful they are and however close.
سبحان الله، هذه الآية اللي ذكرتيها سبحان الله في حياتك، مهما كانت شخصية الإنسان ومهما كانت مكانة الإنسان، الله سبحانه وتعالى ذكرها في سورة النساء: يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا قوامين بالقسط شهداء لله ولو على أنفسكم أو الوالدين والأقربين.
أصبحت قراءة سارة للقرآن مختلفة، مع أنها لا تجيد قراءة اللغة العربية، ولكن رسائل القرآن تصل مباشرة إلى القلوب.
If I leave the Quran for 2 days, there is a sharpness to life. It's like kind of walking on glass. Like things will get to you, things will stab at you in a small way, but you know, you'll be affected. I will be affected by things directly.
الله سبحانه وتعالى يقول: الذين يأكلون الربا لا يقومون إلا كما يقوم الذي يتخبطه الشيطان من المس.
So, Sheikh, it's an odd choice to choose a fairly unspiritual, very practical verse in the Quran. I know, you know, most people we're drawn towards, I want to read about what Jannah is about, or I want to be afraid of hellfire. But when I first read this, it's incredible because it was in 2010 when we were talking about the world banks crashing, when it looked like American finance was finished. Today, all of the world is touched by riba. Kuwait is touched by riba. Muslims are touched by riba. Everything that we buy, somebody, the shopkeeper is selling it you with riba. Allahu Akbar. How do we cleanse ourselves? Riba is devouring the business world. It's devouring humanity. It's making us slaves. We are slaves because of riba. We are abid riba.
ثبتني يا الله على طريق الهدى فكل ما أخشى سوء الختام غدا.
You're probably wondering about people like me who've come to Islam, and I'm telling you, 3 years ago I was not in hijab. 3 years ago I was not going to be Muslim. Let me ask you this: would you buy a car of someone who hated cars and preferred bicycles? Or would you go to an expert in cars? Don't seek out messages from people who've already decided they hate Islam. Go to a masjid, speak to an imam, go to the Quran yourself, and most of all, ask God for guidance to the truth. That's all, and may the truth find you.
أختنا سارة، شكرا لك من القلب. أنا وفريق العمل أريد أن أعرف أمنية أختنا سارة.
I have a very small charity called Peace Trail in the UK, and we are determined to work in the area because it says in the Quran, take care of the people around you first. You know, my heart is in Gaza, but my life is here. Allah has put us here to make a difference. So we've been looking for a while at buying a house to look after between 6 and 10 sisters and their families, because these revert to Islam. There's many now. 5,000 Muslims coming to Islam every year, and the sisters, wallahi, they're struggling. Sometimes they are abused by their new Muslim husbands, may Allah forgive us all. Sometimes their family kicks them out and they have nowhere to live. And the new community, Sheikh, we're not looking after them properly. And it breaks your heart when the new sisters, they go to the church and the church looks after them. So I ask Allah, Allah provides everything.
بعد أن علمت بأن موقع نون سيساهم معها في مشروعها الدعوي، فرحت سارة فرحا لا يوصف.
Sheikh, are you serious? Are you serious?
نعم بإذن الله عز وجل.
Do you know how much this means? That there are sisters who are leaving Islam right now, and some of them have gone into prostitution and gone into drugs because we have not had this happen. And we know families right now who can move into this house. And, you know, before we finish this interview, I asked Allah, before you told me this, I said, Allah, please provide for these sisters. And you've just said this, and I can't believe it. Allah, yes, I can. I can. I'm amazed. Wallahi, literally, when I made dua upstairs, I was asking for help for this. And subhanAllah, this is great news to support our community here. Wallahi, may Allah, I thank Allah.
أسير بدرب قرآني فيشرق صبحه الحاني أرتله وأحفظه وأقرأه بمعاني أسير بدرب قرآني
ربيعي أنس أيامي صديقي بوح أحلامي شفاء الهم والشقوى يداوي جرحي دامي ربيعي أنس أيامي صديقي بوح أحلامي شفاء الهم والشقوى يداوي جرحي دامي ولما تهت ثم أتيت لدرب كلام رب البيت وجدت النور والسلوى مع القرآن اهتديت مع القرآن اهتديت
فيشرق صبحه الحاني أرتله وأحفظه وأقرأه بمعاني أسير بدرب قرآني